300 episodes, Ben.
That's right. 300 episodes.
Do you know what that means?
I don't know what that means. No, it's...
Well, in baseball, 300 wins gets you into the Hall of Fame.
That is true. That is true, Matthew. And have we ever had a losing episode?
No, we have not.
That's right. We're 300-0. I guess that means we're going to the Hall of Fame, dude.
It's a Hall of Fame podcast, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think this is the only Hall of Fame I'll ever make. And I like the fact that I'm in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how I feel about the fact that I'm going into the Hall of Fame with Bob. Like, just the three of us together. Like, it's not me that's going into the Hall of Fame. It's us. And that means Bob.
Yeah,
so,
it's kind of like Kruk and Kipe, going to the Hall of Fame. That they would be great, but then if you had to like add Bob into that, it's just a little bit of a uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Wow, how did I know you were going to say that, Bob?
you don't, too, actually.
you don't get paid enough for this.
But we'll ride your coattails all the way to the Hall of Fame, Bob.
Yeah,
any day.
That's right. It's okay though, Bob, because you're not real.
Bob hit it.
The Giants are rolling. The vibes are flowing. It's time for Giant Cocktails. Here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to another episode of Giant Cocktails. Not just any episode 300. And Ben, I am in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. My hotel room is made entirely of tile. So there might be a little bit of an acoustic issue going on with me today, and I don't apologize for it. I'm in Mexico, man. I don't apologize. Did you know, though, that Angel Pagan hit 300 for the 2014 World Series champion San Francisco Giants? He also had a 342 on base and a OPS plus of 110. And while I was doing that research, I also found that there were 11 Giants who had an OPS plus of 103 or higher that season.
Wow, must be nice. That just sounds luxurious.
And that sounds great, but they also went 45 and 51 after June 10th.
Oh.
And that date might come up later. Just a little foreshadowing there.
Oh, really?
Really?
Nah,
really?
Okay. Well, good to know. Well, you know what? It's not my fault. They still won the World Series.
They did, and so I'm not complaining. Can't complain when they win the World Series.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Yes, Bob, let's talk cocktails.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Ben, as I mentioned, I'm in Cabo San Lucas, and I was at a bar earlier in the week, a restaurant bar. Okay, so it wasn't just a bar. Don't judge. All right, and I had a delicious lunch, and with that, we ordered a drink that had tequila and kiwi in it, and so I have reenacted that cocktail for us tonight. It's called the Kiwi Mexicano. It's actually not what it was called at the restaurant, but I can't remember what it was called. So,
how many did you have?
I had one of that one, and it was delicious. Kiwi and tequila go great together, so I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Matthew, you called Bob Ben.
When did I call Bob Ben? Just now?
Just now. Bob asked you what you were drinking, and you said, well, Ben.
I got to admit, I'm in Mexico, and I'm on like my 8th cocktail in the afternoon, okay? Like, it's been a great afternoon. It's been one of the best days of my life, okay? I won't lie. And and I'm my hotel room overlooks the bay of the Sea of Cortez, Ben. Like, I am living life, and so you're lucky I'm even on the podcast, Ben. So I don't care what I call you.
Okay, well, to be clear, you didn't call me anything. You called Bob Ben.
Okay.
But
All
anyway,
right, this is going to be an interesting podcast for sure.
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you, Bob. Today I'm drinking a cocktail known as the Colorado Bulldog. And I'm told that some of these ingredients are commonly mixed together. All of them, in fact, in different combinations. I'm not sure I agree with that. But anyway, I'm choking one of these down, possibly two of these down during the show, and you can find out what's in it at the end of the episode. The Colorado Bulldog.
All right. Well, Ben, today is June 11th, Wednesday, June 11th, as we record this podcast, one day after your birthday. So happy belated birthday, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you, Matthew, for outing my birthday to the entire universe.
Well, that's what we do here. All right. Well, the Giants, since we last recorded, which was on a Saturday evening because I was traveling to Cabo San Lucas, are there 3-0. And which brings their record to 40-28 and a season high 12 games over 500. That's a pretty robust record, Ben, 40-28. They did finish off the sweep of the Braves on Sunday, and they have demolished the Rockies in dominating fashion over the last two games. We knew they had it from the very beginning.
Maybe over 9-10 innings. No, let's subtract the bottom of the ninth today. So maybe 9.5 innings they've been dominating the Rockies. And I don't even know.
They won both games. Okay, they're 2-0.
I don't know that the Giants have really done anything during this series.
The Rockies renouncers are even like, yeah, that's just what happens to the Rockies. I'm sure Rockies fans feel the same way. Like they get a little glimmer of hope somewhere around the 7th or 8th inning, and then bam, it just all comes tumbling down. So
no, I think it's a unique experience every day, Matthew. I think that what happens and how they lose is different every day because it's baseball.
Well, I feel like Rockies fans are feeling like it's Groundhog Day and it's just over and over again where they think they might win and then they don't. And so thank goodness we are playing the Rockies today or this week because we also had a few injuries, which we'll talk about later. What else are we talking about? Well, of course, we'll talk about the Rockies series and then segment 2. Ben, we've got a big series coming up. It's not just any team that we're playing after the Rockies. We are playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we'll talk a little bit about that and that series and how important it is. But first, Ben, we talked about how we were going to find out how you pronounce Gerard or Gerard Encarnacion. And Ben, I understand that you have the answer. So please enlighten us. How do we say the man's name?
That's right, folks. I did the research. I listened to Erwin Higueros and the other guy whose name I don't remember. And I have the answer, Matthew. And the choices were Gerard.
Gerard or Gerard?
Or Gerard. Those are the two choices. And the answer is, Matthew, neither. Neither. That is not how you say his name.
So how do you say his name?
You say Gerard.
Oh. So it's like a combo.
It's a combo
of like English and Spanish.
Correct.
So they were right when they were pronouncing the J, huh?
Yes.
But not Gerard. It's Gerard.
That's right. It's Gerard. You have to roll your R's. I'm sorry. You certainly cannot say Gerard. That's not the way it's said. It's Gerard.
Okay. Well, I feel really good that now we have gotten to the answer of 2 months plus into the season.
I feel great about it because I feel like, now that we finally figured out how to say his name, he's not going to be here very long.
I mean, he misses an occasional throw from second base.
It's an occasional average normal throw from second base. Yeah. He misses every curveball that's thrown to him. Every breaking ball, but yet still swings at all of them. Yeah.
We give him, but he did get a hit this last week on an off day, no less, which is quite the feat.
What? Oh, that's I noticed that. I was dumbfounded. I was like, no, he doesn't have a hit.
Last episode, we asked if he was going to get a hit all season, and you said no. And then they showed us, man, he got a hit on a day off. So Manny Machado's error, like from the Padres series, was overturned, and he got a hit. So now he's got a batting average with the Giants all of a sudden.
Well, Matthew, that makes sense because the only way he can get a hit is when he's not at the bat. Because when he's at bat, it really does not look like he's going to get a hit anytime soon. No.
Well, even today, he's now batting a robust .059.
Right. Although I will say he did hit one ball very hard to end a game that was a line drive to the first baseman. And then today, as we record this podcast, he hit one to the warning track that was fading, and it was pretty hard hit and looked like, maybe it was going to be a course field home run.
Okay, ask Lamont Wade Jr. how that works out when you hit balls hard at people. I
keep waiting for Lamont to make his debut with the Angels, and one, it took him an extra day to get him on the roster, and then two, he has not played in either of the two games that he was available. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Gerard. It is. Thank you, Ben. We will know how to say it when Bryce Eldridge comes up and he gets TFA. Okay. But June 10th, was a birthday day for one of us, and I decided to go through, Ben, and look at how the Giants have done on every June 10th since the year you were born, and it's not good. Okay, it's not good.
Matthew, I'm aware. Okay, like I f***ing lived it. Okay?
Well, I just want to let's illustrate this. So first of all, they are 16-28 in games that they've played on June 10th, and then there were 7 did not plays. Okay, so in your lifetime. There was one doubleheader, which they split.
Yes, I do know that. There was a doubleheader. I thought they had 8 off days. Anyway.
And the longest, the longest streak was 16-game winless streak between 1993 and 2008. There were 2 did not plays during that streak, but they did not win a game by the time you were 17 until what? You were like 30?
Until I was a father of 2, Matthew. I was 17, and then I was a father of 2, and the Giants won again.
The funny thing is that they were 16-28 during your life, but they were over 500 by June 10th 28 times. So that means that they've underperformed.
Yeah, that seems about right. That seems about right. Seems about right.
The good news, though, is that as of today, as of your birthday, they were 39-28. Only 4 times, including this year, in your entire life, have they had at least 39 wins on your birthday.
That means we're winning the World Series this year, dude. We're winning this World Series. That's what that means.
I think it does.
And it'll be my fault. It'll be because of me.
Okay. What was funny is that in 2010, 2012, and 2014, they lost on your birthday each of those days.
Oh, God damn it, dude.
So happy birthday, Ben.
Thanks, Matthew. Thanks, Matthew.
The Giants reign.
Yeah. Thanks, Matthew. Maybe we should have just skipped episode 300.
All right. Well, it's time to move on. Yes. So it's a great time to play the Rockies, Ben.
It's always a great time to play the Rockies.
Oh, especially when Matt Chapman and Patrick Bailey go on the IL.
Oh, yeah.
We've been avoiding the injury bug pretty much the entire season. And then within the span of 2 days, we get 2 of our starters placed on the IL.
2 our 2 best defenders also. Our 2 Gold Glovers. On a team that's supposed to be pitching and defense. And, I'm starting to believe it after watching this lineup do its thing in the month of May through my birthday. Yeah, I mean, this is the disaster we've been avoiding, right? Because this team does not have significant depth. At least in one of those positions. I think we got very, very lucky with the Casey Schmidt situation, right? Him being healthy and being available and him being him, because he is a very good defensive third baseman and he does have a lot of pop in his bat, as we've seen, right? Like in his first start as the everyday third baseman, he hits a very important home run to start the rally for the Giants. But nonetheless, this is a big blow. And I think the fact that our catching duo is now Andrew Knizner and Knizner and right, and Logan
Yes.
Paul. I mean Porter Logan. Wait, let me double check my notes. Ah, right. It's Jogan Jorder. Logan Porter. Final answer. I just get well soon, guys. Get well soon. I'm not super psyched about the fact that Matt Chapman, one, it was a bad sign when he was taking the day off with with hand inflammation. I was like, Matt Chapman doesn't take days off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially if he's got a bruise. Right? Remember when he cut his hand open? He was back out there the next inning earlier this season. So the fact that he wasn't in the lineup was a bad sign. And now he's saying, "Oh, I'll be back before the All-Star break." Which leads me to believe that probably everybody else in the world believes it's going to be after the All-Star break. So this is not good. The Bailey situation, he strained his neck?
I feel like he slept on it wrong or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. One of those weird injuries where all of a sudden he's just suddenly on the IL.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out how good this team really is, because those are two extremely important pieces. And if the pitching starts to get a little bit worse, that's the value of Patrick Bailey, everybody. Right? I mean, a lot of people are like, he can't possibly be worth it. I think
we're going to find out.
We are going to find out. And I think his worth is immeasurable. Like, I literally don't think there's a stat to measure how important he is to the Giants. They haven't invented it yet.
I mean, the defensive stats are so hard to quantify, and offensively, maybe they can cover that. I mean, Logan Porter's got a career 188 batting average in the major leagues, and that's actually kind of where Patrick Bailey was hitting for most of this season. But he's not going to be the everyday catcher. It's going to be Knizner. And so we're going to see like how important it is to have a guy like that behind the plate. Yeah. So, I think the other thing going into the Rockies series, though, was that we both saw Adames get a couple days rest. Obviously on Sunday he didn't play, and then for the first time all season, and then they had an off day on Monday. So we got 2 days rest. Yaz got some rest going into the Rockies series as well. And both of them had pretty good first two games against the Rockies. Turns out, Ben, that rest might be a good thing.
That's right. Getting 2 days off before going to Coors Field, that's a good idea. Alex Pavlovich knows what he's talking about.
Well, I remember we were talking earlier about just the bench and how, like, the bench was early on, especially before the Purple Purge, right? There was not a lot of confidence, I think, in those guys to play any kind of offensive role. And I think Bob Melvin was kind of managing that way. Most of those guys, Chapman and Adames especially, or Yaz as well, hadn't taken much time off. So to get a couple days off to refresh not only is important for those guys, but I think it also shows that maybe Melvin is feeling a little bit more comfortable with some of the options he has on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a legitimate outfielder to play. So that gives the outfielders a little bit more wiggle room. And he's got Dom Smith instead of Christian Koss. And I think that, or putting Casey Schmidt there, who's not really a first baseman. And Dom Smith has proven that he can hit at the major league level. So, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That gives him some options that he has more faith in, because the one thing that I've learned about Bob Melvin is that if he believes in you, he'll play you. If he doesn't, he won't. I mean, that's why that's why Luciano, when he came up last year, got no at-bats, because Melvin didn't believe in him. Right. And it didn't matter how much Farhan wanted him on the roster. If he was on the roster, he wasn't going to play because Melvin makes the lineup card. But you're right. I mean, the days off, though, Jung-Hoo Lee also had some off days leading up. Those three guys, Jung-Hoo Lee was 1 for 5 yesterday, but today he was 1 for 3 with 2 walks. He scored 3 runs today and 2 runs yesterday. Adames was 2 for 3 yesterday with a home run and 2 RBIs and a walk. Today, he was 3 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. And Yaz didn't start the game, but he was 1 for 2. And then today
he was 2 for 5.
2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. So yeah, maybe some days off are what these guys needed. Maybe what they needed was facing the Rockies pitching staff. Or maybe he was playing in Colorado. Or maybe it was all 3.
Tomato, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
You play the team that's on your schedule. And everybody's got to do it. And so everybody in the majors will play the Rockies. Mm-hmm. The Giants just got a chance to take advantage of it when they needed it. So
I'm not complaining. I'm like, hey, take the wins. Take the wins.
Absolutely take those wins.
Everybody else is playing them too.
So those wins actually translate into what are we now, 7-game win streak?
Yes, it's a 7-game win streak. Unfortunately or fortunately, today they did not win by 1 run. Honestly, I don't care how many runs they win by.
Yeah, well, we can stop talking about the 1-run thing. And they scored 10 runs, which I think is more than they've scored in quite a long time. That's a miraculous number. But it even in Colorado, I'll take it, right?
Agreed. I will say this, though. Today felt like a 1-run game.
It did feel like a 1-run game.
The other thing I will say about the playing the Rockies, Matthew, is that I don't know that this really demonstrates much about the Giants. I've really felt like the first 2 games of this series have really just watching the Rockies be the Rockies.
Oh, whatever.
The Giants are just there, right? Like I said, take the wins, but boy, the Rockies are bad.
Really bad. But again, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, okay? You take the wins as they come. The Giants now are on a 7-game win streak. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They are the hottest team in baseball right now. I know it doesn't feel that way, but they are.
Yeah, folks, if you want to feel like the Giants are good, don't watch the games. Just look at the results the next day. Just look at the win-loss column. Don't watch them play, right? Because the thing that you're going to focus on is the offense. And you're going to be like, wow, these guys can't hit. And then occasionally you're going to see all that aggressive base running, and you're going to see them get thrown out at bases a lot. And yes, you're going to see Gerard miss a easy throw from his second baseman. And I don't know what that's all about. I mean, I can't explain that. That's not good baseball. But what the Giants are really about is putting up those zeros from the pitching staff. And that's not something you see happen, in the moment. It happens in the aggregate. And that's just not how the human brain works, right? We like big events. We like shocking moments. And the Giants don't win with shocking moments. They just sort of win by smothering their opponents to death. Like a big giant snake that just constricts them. That's controlled by an evil hex from our leader, Robbie Ray. No, maybe we should talk about the Dodgers now, Matthew.
Well, you mentioned Robbie Ray, though. I will say today was Robbie Ray win day. And they did get the win. Robbie Ray did not pitch like it, but he also didn't get helped out by that really unfortunate missing of the ball from Encarnacion, from Gerard.
Yes, Gerard did not help Ray in any way, and that was a really ill-timed mistake, for sure. But Robbie Ray did not pitch through it.
No, but I will say that, again, this was an example of how good and deep the Giants bullpen is, where you can turn to someone like Tristan Beck, who, he gave up a couple of runs, but he pitched 3 innings out of the bullpen and gave the Giants a chance, to come back.
I do want to ask a question, though, now that you mention it. In the first 2 games of this series, we've seen Bivens pitch 2 2/3 of an inning, and we've seen Beck pitch 3 innings. And I guess it's working because the Giants won both of these games. But Bivens got to him in the 3rd inning that he went out there, which was really weird to me. Like, I don't understand how Melvin is using this bullpen right now. Like, he seems...
Especially that late in the game. Maybe because they're in Colorado, he was like, well, we got to save all our bullets while we can, kind of thing.
It feels like he's saving the bullpen for LA, as if these games in Colorado don't matter. Like, they're the same, Bob. I mean, I guess the wins against the Dodgers help if you tie the Dodgers at the end of the season, right? We know that they're not tying the Rockies. Like, the Giants could literally try to lose every game, and I don't think they could lose as many games as the Rockies are going to. So there's just, like, I don't understand what he's doing here. Like, I don't understand. Like, you've got the best bullpen in baseball, and you're babying it in a game that you can easily come back in. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with some of his usage in this series. I think he is obviously trying to save arms. I just don't understand why. On the other hand, they're 2-0. So what the heck do I know?
Yeah, what do you know?
Not much.
What do you know about the Dodgers? Because that's who we're playing next. I do know that they have, I think they've placed 16 pitchers on the IL this year.
It's something like that. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's a crazy number. 16 pitchers.
I know that one of the... yeah.
Poor Dodgers.
The poor Dodgers.
One of them was Blake Snell. Oh.
Yeah, that's too bad. I did predict that Shohei Ohtani would never pitch again, but I don't think they have any choice. I think they really, really need him to pitch. So I think that he is going to... He is progressing. I heard that they might want to try to get him on the mound before the All-Star break. But anyway, to tell you how bad the Dodgers pitching is getting, one of the things that is happening this year in Dodgerland, like one of the exciting things, right? Like every year, every team has a couple of things that happen that tell the story of the team, right? Like Robbie Ray and his hex. Justin Verlander and his being hexed. These kind of stories. Every year, there's a story on every team. One of the stories for the Dodgers this year, Matthew, is Kike Hernandez.
Well, of course, lifetime Dodger. Yeah, Kike.
Lifetime Dodger, right? But this year... he's making his mark as a pitcher.
So he has a really good ERA? Is that what you're saying?
No, he sucks, Matthew. But he comes out there and he just turns the baseball game into a comedy routine Because that's what everybody likes, right? Like, I mean, that's what the Savannah Bananas, they get away with it, right? So the Dodgers, whenever they're just losing by a ton, which happens a lot, they just throw Kike out there and then everybody forgets, right? They just start throwing the beach balls around and everybody just starts having a good time. And Kike does impersonations of every pitcher he's ever seen. And they sent him out there for 3 innings.
I saw that. Yeah, he ate a bunch of innings the other day.
I mean, I want my money back. If the Dodgers are throwing out Kike Hernandez for a third of the game, and I went to that, I'd be going to the Padres box office and be like, I want a third of my money back. That was BS. That was BS. But anyway, that's how bad their pitching staff is. That's how bad things are for the Dodgers. Kike Hernandez became the first Dodger to pitch 2+ innings, position player to pitch 2+ innings in a game since I think the 30s. Or maybe it was the 40s. They
might want to consider more because he's got a 2.08 ERA, man.
Okay. It's weird, Matthew. Shocking, but I have watched a lot of these. I like to watch the Dodgers lose by a lot. Sue me.
Oh, yeah. Well, when they lose 11-1, you're like, okay. Let's go look at that.
So I think the Dodger pitcher that I've seen throw the most pitches this year is Kike Hernandez because I enjoy watching these games. He has this, like, every now and then he'll sneakily throw this 80-mile-an-hour fastball. Most of the time it's all these like ephuses, right? Right. And they're coming in, and he can throw a slider, and then I guess he throws a fastball that's not really a fastball. But every now and then he'll sneak one in. And one of the Padres hitters was kind of like making fun of him. I think his name was Maldonado. It was kind of, he was just like, this is a joke, And it looked like Kike wasn't in on the joke. He didn't like it when the other guys were having fun. And so he tried to strike him out with this sneak attack 80-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was low. And the guy laughed and was kind of looking at him and shaking his head and smiling. And Kike did not want to make eye contact.
Oh.
So anyway, that's the Dodgers. Yeah, Matthew, the Giants are coming. The Giants are coming to eat your children. Run and hide, Dodgers fans.
And if the Giants finish the sweep of the Rockies on Thursday, then they would go into LA tied for first with the Dodgers in the National League West.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Now, this is the same team that I recall. Many people, I remember hearing the word 120 wins.
Oh, yeah. They were going to cakewalk their way to the World Series. They were getting ready for October, Matthew.
They were. And it's funny how, like, you can say all that in spring training, and then when the actual season rolls around, it's a different ballgame, literally. And when you have 16 pitchers hit the IL, which I could have told you one of them, Blake Snell, that's not a surprise.
That was not a surprise, no.
It doesn't compute that people are thinking, and I still look at this. I still look at, now granted they are ahead in the standings and all that, but you still see all the rankings, and the Dodgers are still like ranked really high up there behind the Detroit Tigers, though, now I might add. And as far as best teams in baseball, and I'm like, have you watched them lately? They're just, they're mediocre at best. Their pitching staff is struggling to hold on to wins. And so I feel like the Giants, even though they don't have Matt Chapman, are going into a series at a good time and maybe can take advantage of the struggling Dodgers team.
Well, they're also having trouble driving in runs with runners in scoring position. Another cool thing is that they have this guy, Matthew, maybe you've heard of him, named Michael Conforto.
I've heard of him. Good old Michael.
He has played 61 games for the Dodgers, and he is hitting a robust 175 with a 314 on-base percentage and a 286 slug for an OPS of 600. Matthew.
Wow.
Michael Conforto went to L.A., and he got worse.
Which I'm sure just tickles you because you hated him.
Oh man, he was so like, he was getting the hits at the times when they just didn't matter. He had all these average stats, but you were like, dude, this is not an average guy. Can anybody remember anything good this guy did? No, because he did them. He was the anti-Patrick Bailey. Patrick never gets a hit, but when he does, it's a runner on second and it's the 8th inning. And the Giant, and he puts the Giants ahead. When Conforto would hit a home run, it was like the Giants would be way ahead or way behind. So anyway, that's a guy playing for the Dodgers. Can't wait to see him. He'll probably, I know what I just did. He's going to have the series of his life and, go 16 for 12. And that's not even possible.
I'm looking at his numbers in 2023 with the Giants, his first year. He had a 100 OPS plus.
That's what I'm saying. He's average.
Last year, he had a 115 OPS plus, which is hard to fathom.
Right.
Like, I don't see how that could have happened.
Exactly,
which
right?
Which is to your point, right? Like, he did okay, but not in moments where it counted.
Exactly.
But this year, he's got a 70 OPS plus with a negative 0.6 WAR and in 225 plate appearances for the Dodgers. They just keep rolling him out there, hoping things will change.
And what does that tell you? They don't have anybody else.
Yeah, years past, right? They had somebody they could have just plugged in there, but this year, nope.
Well, and so, like you were talking about how this is a team that's supposed to roll their way to the postseason. Matthew, the St. Louis Cardinals are only 4.5 games behind the Dodgers. Why does that matter? Because the St. Louis Cardinals are the first team not in a wild card position. That's how close the Dodgers are to not being in a playoff spot. Okay? So this team is not the team everybody thought it was going to be. This is a team that the Giants can beat, not just in this series, but for the season. Like, I think the National League West is very winnable. Because, and I'm just like, just wait until so-and-so gets back and la, 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 la. They're just going to turn it on. Like, everybody keeps talking about how the Dodgers engine is going to start. And there's no reason that should be true. Right? Like, and once your pitchers are hurt, Matthew, they don't just get healthy and suddenly become great. Like,
no, exactly.
They're in a deep hole.
And then they're counting on someone like Ohtani, maybe, who's coming off Tommy John and all that. We know from our own experience with like Robbie Ray, it usually takes a good year plus for a pitcher to find his command again after Tommy John. So I don't feel like there's any quick fixes for the Dodgers on the pitching side.
No, agreed. But it'll be interesting to see because that's their weakness. And obviously the offense is their strength, although it has been scuffling recently. So it's weakness against strength and weakness against strength. I feel like the last time we said that.
Well, what's that?
I feel like the last time we said that about the Giants, it didn't go well.
Yeah, it's probably true. But, what we say doesn't really dictate how the Giants do, Ben. I just hope you know that.
It feels like it does, dude. It feels like what side of bed I get out in the morning. I don't like what pants, what leg I put in my pants first. I don't know what I've been doing. I've just been getting it so like messed up this year, man.
Well, let me give you a little pep talk. Okay. So on Thursday, the last game of the Rockies, it's Hayden Birdsong.
Woo! Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
Caw-caw! Facing a pitcher named Antonio
Senzatella, yeah.
And Antonio has not had a good year.
No, he hasn't.
He's 1-10 with a 6.68 ERA.
I feel like they'll be evenly matched. He's going to have the best. He's going to have. Look, Matthew. He's facing the Giants lineup. He's going to have his best game of the year. Okay.
Well, sure. I understand why you would say that. I mean, generally, like we would want someone like that, but the Giants tend to struggle against guys like this, and all of a sudden, and then we'll wait until like the ninth inning to score.
Yeah, they're going to win 3-2 in the ninth. Yeah. And they're going to score all their runs in seventh
Hayden
inning or later.
won't get a win. It'll be like, Tyler Rogers getting the win. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. Camilo will come in and maybe he'll get the save. Maybe he won't.
Not well. He'll give up 4 base hits and still get the save.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Nisner's going to throw somebody out. I don't know.
I don't know how it works, but that's just the way it seems like every time.
That's right.
Torture baseball.
That's right. Well, they're gonna send him out there 3 times in a row, and then Randy will have to come in and bail him out one of those days.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Usually we talk about upcoming opponents, but we spent our entire second segment talking about that. So I don't know. What else should we do?
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Oh, right. Thank you, Bob. Yes, it is time for the booze.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking a drink I'm calling Kiwi in Mexico. I wish I could give the bartender who created it credit, but I don't remember. And I actually just am guessing on the specs, but it's pretty darn good. Okay, it's got 2 ounces of Tequila Blanco, 3 to 4 ripe kiwi slices peeled. Okay, you want to peel your kiwi before you slice it. 6 to 8 fresh mint leaves. 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, 1/2 ounce of agave syrup. And you're going to muddle the kiwi in agave syrup until the kiwi is into chunky bits. Okay. Then you're going to add the mint and muddle it again a little bit lighter just to kind of release the oils in the mint. Then you're going to add the remaining ingredients with ice and give it a good shake to chill it. And then you're going to do what's called a dirty dump. You're going to dump all the ice into a rocks glass. You can top it off with some fresh ice if you need to, and garnish it with a kiwi slice and or a mint sprig. And it is amazing how good tequila and kiwi go. It's a very refreshing cocktail. So that's what I'm drinking, Bob. A Kiwi in Mexico.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Really is. I'm kudos to the bartender who made it.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Bob, today I am drinking a cocktail called the Colorado Bulldog. What's in a Colorado Bulldog? Well, it has 1 ounce of vodka. Cool. 1 ounce of coffee liqueur, most commonly used as Kahlua. All right. 1 ounce of heavy cream or milk, your choice. Okay, yeah, okay. Starting to sound a little bit like a White Russian.
White Russian?
Yeah, okay. And then it has 1 to 2 ounces of cola, as in Coca-Cola, to taste. You pour all of those into a rocks glass with ice, one after the other, starting with the vodka and the coffee liqueur and then the cream. You stir those 3 ingredients and then you top it with your cola to taste. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. A Colorado Bulldog. These Coloradoans.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Bob, I feel like you wanted to say that with a different inflection than you normally do, but I know that's really hard for you. You really only have 2 ways that you can say this.
It sounds like Laverne's drink on Laverne and Shirley. That's what it sounds like to me. Is it like milk and Pepsi? Is what she drank?
What? What's Laverne and Shirley?
Oh man, that's going way back. I know, but you were too young for that because you were.
No, I remember Schlemiel Schlemazel.
Yeah, Haas and Pepper Incorporated. Yeah, and she had milk and Pepsi. That was her drink.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was funny because it was weird. You know what, folks? This was actually fine. It was fine. Like, I didn't knock my socks off, but I was like, wow, this is not as disgusting as I thought it was going to be. I kind of liked it.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
There's a good reason that, Colorado Bulldog.
There you go.
While you're in Colorado, when in Colorado, drink
That's
it.
right. Or not. Whenever you're playing Colorado, drink it. And that's a wrap. thank you for joining us for episode 300 of Giant Cocktails.
Woo, 300!
Was it our best episode? Nah, not really. But was it a winner?
No.
Yes, it was. We're 300-0. And we're going to the Hall of Fame. And if you can't wait for our Hall of Fame speeches, then you can feel free to reach out to us on social medias, where you can find us by the username Giant Cocktails. You can also find us on YouTube. So run over there to like, subscribe, and comment. If you have commented recently, I haven't checked it recently. I will, and then we'll talk about it on the next episode. Oh, most importantly, be sure to leave a rating for us on your podcasting platform of choice, Apple Podcasts, or Rockiefy. Matthew, you were very inebriated today. Keep up the good work.
I was inebriated today. Thank you, Ben. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers, my friend. I don't even know how to say it.
I wasn't done yet. Okay. Hang on.
Okay. All right.
Cheers, my friend.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Cheers, Ben. Bye, everybody. Or is it Bob?
No, it's Ben. It's Ben.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right.
Yeah. So we said because you're on the trip, I'm going to edit this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Do it, man.
I'm doing it right now. We're doing it right now. We're doing it right now.
No, you're going to wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to wait.
It's going to wait.
Yeah, because you're on vacation and you want to go have more drinks, apparently. Maybe go, pass out in the pool. Don't get in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Don't get in the hot tub.
I have a hot tub on my deck, out on my patio.
Well, that sounds dangerous. Don't drink in hot tub, Matthew. Don't drink in hot tub.
Okay. All right.
Look it up, folks. It's a thing. What was I supposed to do? Oh, yeah. Goodbye!
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
Seriously, like I had what is it called? A bloody Caesar at like 11 o'clock this morning.
Matthew, if you have a bloody seizure, you should go to the hospital.
Caesar, like I don't know. It's like with clamato juice instead of,
Yes,
tomato juice.
I know.
It's so
I was making
that was that. Okay. I know you were making a joke, but that's a gross joke. And then I was going to,
Okay.
and then at poolside, then at dinner, then I had the one I just had now. It's I'm gonna need a little detox from my liver when I get back from vacation.
But not tomorrow, right? Not tomorrow.
Oh no, I got another day.
What's the breakfast food like? What's the breakfast situation?
Not bad. Chilaquiles and some breakfast burritos and things.
There's no
I make it a point not to eat what you could get in the States, so I have been eating them, and it's a lot of seafood. So. We've had la ceviche and stuff like that. It's been really yummy.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm Mexican, not like natively, but I've eaten a lot of Mexican food. I don't know if you know this, but my grandmother used to own a Mexican restaurant.
I do know that. I do because she's my grandmother too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. You met her.
I met her. She's a great woman. Rest in peace.